Welcome to my third video. Solana hit $250 last week, so if you've been following my guide from day one, you should have 5x your money by now. Cheers, man. You made it, and it's time to protect your money by keeping your private keys safe. This episode is about securing your private keys with a hardware wallet. We will unbox a Ledger, which is a brand of hardware wallets that I'm most familiar with. So let's get into it. Let's review a couple of facts about private keys. Using elliptical curve cryptography, anyone can determine the public address from a private key. So every private key in existence has a public address mapped to it. However, it's impossible to do it the other way around, right? So if you have somebody's public address, you cannot use cryptography to get back to the private key. That's the whole point. There's a ridiculously high number of private public key pairs. It would likely take several lifetimes of unlocking random private keys before you would come across one that actually somebody's using as money in it. When you set up a crypto wallet, you're usually assigned a random private key that maps to some public address, and that's the one you start using. The wallet usually creates a recovery phrase or a seed phrase that you can later use to recover your private key again without actually having to remember your private key and type it in anywhere, because that would make it less secure. The important thing to remember is that from your password, anyone could get to your login name. It's also important to note that for your public address that maybe you're used to using, if your private keys are compromised, you cannot change the private key for that public address. You have to move your funds to a new wallet that has a different private key. Once a private key has been compromised, that account is done. So having your private key stored in a browser extension such as MetaMask or Phantom is considered risky. That's why we got this little device called the Ledger. This will actually take your private key and store it on this device and encrypt it in its microchip, right? Setting this up is simple. It's kind of time consuming. You should probably have about 15 minutes to do it. You'll have to, one, learn the basics of how to navigate this device. Notice it's got these two little buttons on it, so you have to learn how to use them. Two, you have to set up a PIN code and a secret recovery phrase. And then three, likely once you have it set up, you're going to have to update the software on this thing, install Ledger Live app to use your Ledger, and install crypto-specific apps on this device. In my case, I have a Solana app and I have an Ethereum app on my Ledger. Here's a clip of me showing Robin how to set up her Ledger on her Mac. So cheers, let's get started.
All right, we're gonna unbox this thing. Make sure the plastic was on the box when you received it. Alrighty, get the plastic off. Inside the box, got the Ledger. There's a getting started sheet, and then these recovery sheets, which are pretty handy. Comes with a nice little wire. You'll plug into your laptop. Plugging this baby in. Welcome to Ledger Nano S. Press left and right to navigate. Press both buttons to validate. Get started at ledger.com/start. Just received your device, yes. Alright, you gotta download the Ledger Live app for a Mac. Just get started. I'll let you do the clicking.
I'll drive.
Alright. Okay, I'm ready. Please be careful.
Oh, okay. Don't rush me.
Turn on your Nano. It's turned on.
Oh, wow, look at that. What's it say?
Get started at ledger.com/start.
Okay.
Alright. Learn how to interact with your device. Yep, we did that. Select set up as a new device. Okay.
Press both buttons
Set up.
simultaneously.
Yeah, so here. You get to set up a new device, and you press both buttons together to select it. Now I'm going to choose a PIN code.
Okay, so at this stage in the video, Robin and I are going to set up her PIN code and her secret recovery phrase. I'm just going to fast forward through this because the instructions are pretty clear. You'll be able to figure it out on your own. Essentially, you're writing down a 24-word phrase, just like you do with your Phantom wallet, and that is going to be the seed that unlocks your Ledger. So let's say you lose your Ledger, you want to buy a new one and set up your private keys again, you will need the secret recovery phrase. You also need a PIN code. The PIN code will unlock your ledger every time you want to interact with your crypto.
All right, check my Nano, make sure it's genuine.
You didn't buy me a fake?
I hope not. Prompt pop up on here. Gotta allow the app to interact with your ledger. Add account. Ethereum.
My device is a ledger, right? This is the device.
Yeah, you can install an Ethereum app on this ledger.
Oh. Do you have a ledger?
Yeah, mine is right here.
Oh.
Ledger party.
Open the Ethereum app on your device.
Double click.
Oh, well, same time.
1, 2, 3. Application is ready. Synchronizing. It's gonna have to update.
So if you have lots of different coins, then you have to add an app for each coin.
No, because most of what we use are ERC20 tokens, which all live on the Ethereum blockchain. So you only need to have the Ethereum app to deal with a lot of different tokens.
Should I just...
Okay, done. Application is ready. I think we probably have to do some updating here. Yeah, the version's 1.7. Yeah, see, the firmware is outdated. Updated. You have your recovery plans. You're safe.
Sure do. Spent a half hour doing that.
There you go. So to summarize, we did the initial setup of the ledger. We set up the 24-word recovery phrase, and we set up the PIN code. Then we installed the Ledger Live app on your computer. We installed the Ethereum app on your ledger, and we updated the hardware. Once these steps are completed, you can find your new public Ethereum address in your Ledger Live app that can be used to receive any ERC20 tokens, as well as a lot of the other L1 tokens, such as Phantom, Polygon, Avalanche, Moonriver, etc. That public address is now secured by your ledger. So as long as your ledger is unplugged, your computer can get 100% compromise and your crypto is still safe. In the next video, we're going to go deeper into hardware wallets. We're going to set it up to work with a hot wallet interface like MetaMask or Phantom, and we're going to learn how to sign DeFi transactions, and you're going to learn that anything you can do with a hot wallet, you can actually still do while enjoying the security of the hardware wallet of a ledger. The integration can get a little bit tricky, but we're going to walk through each individual operating system and different browsers, and I'll show you that it works on Mac, it works on a Windows machine, and it works on a Linux machine. Skip to the next video and you get the full potential of the ledger. Let's do it.